Hello. Are you thinking of changing your clubs in 2020? Or maybe you want to do it a little bit earlier because there's a proliferation of new golf clubs on the market right now and you could be out there getting used to them so that you're ready for the start of the 2020 season. Today we're looking at the Taylor Made P790, a golf club which already has a great name in golf, and this new version is on the market. I'm going to try it out and let you know what I think. So what can I tell you about the P790? This is part of a new breed of golf clubs which really do kind of catch my imagination because they look a lot like a blade, but they're giving you the forgiveness and also the ball speed that you would expect really from a cavity back club. And they're doing this with this new technology, hollow face construction, which is allowing them to put in thinner faces which are actually flexing similar to your driver and giving you that kind of trampoline effect which increases ball speed. At the same time, they're building them in smaller heads, so you're not getting that kind of oversized head look with actually narrow top edges, so when you actually put it on the ground it looks very clean and it sits very nicely on the floor. Obviously not quite as narrow a sole as you might be used to if you're hitting a blade golf club, and the overall look is a little bit clunkier than a normal blade golf club. But what we're looking for here is maybe a good option for somebody who doesn't really feel capable of hitting a blade consistently but is looking for that kind of feedback from a blade golf club with a little bit more of the performance. So we're kind of somewhere in the middle between the really forgiving golf clubs and the blade golf clubs, but giving you this extra ball speed which is so vital when you're playing the game and getting a little older and not maybe on the driving range as much as you would like to be. So what I'm going to do is hit a few balls with TrackMan today and just see what kind of numbers it's giving me. What I'm very interested to see is kind of what kind of feeling I'm getting off this golf club, if it is comparable to a blade. And at the same time, one of my big concerns with all of these manufacturers with these kind of ball speed improvements through this kind of trampoline effect is often a problem with spin, that we aren't generating enough spin and therefore you don't get enough control and you get a little bit inconsistency in your carry distances. But we'll have a look at that. Now, I'm not the quickest swinger of a golf club on the planet, so this shouldn't be totally different from what you're doing if you're kind of coming in at around about 80 to 85 miles an hour of club head speed. Then that's more or less what I have. Although I am playing a stiff shaft, I do actually like the feeling of basically the stiff shaft, although probably I could play a regular shaft as well. So if we just look at those first numbers, 82.3 miles an hour of club head speed is giving me a carry distance of 132 meters, which is a little short, and 5.6 spin. Now, that is not bad. 5.6 in comparison to an awful lot of the golf clubs which are coming out around about the 3,500 RPM of spin means that I'm still getting a kind of ball flight that I'm looking for, and I'm probably going to get a little bit of a good consistency even playing out of longer grass, and that's really very important. Maybe one of the first things which is really striking about this golf club is the strike, that sound, that kind of blade sound that I always like. I've been playing blades, as I've told you before, since I was a child, and I'm used to that kind of soft sound of the forged material on the golf ball. It's a good sound. It's really incredible how they've managed this, because normally with these hollow clubs you get a little bit kind of a tinny belly kind of a sound. Let me just show you here in the head. You can see a little screw there. Now that screw's not doing anything, but what it is actually allowed them is to pump some urethane into the club head, which was actually going to change the sound of the golf club when you strike it. get away from that kind of bell light sound. It's amazing the amount of money that these manufacturers are investing just in getting the sound right, and that seems to have worked very well here. I caught that right between the eyes. That felt really good, very solid. The ground contact with a lot of these golf clubs, when the sole gets a little bit wide, can be a little bit bouncy, especially if you're playing off relatively tight lies. Now, there's not an awful lot of grass here on the driving range. Another consistent clubhead speed, 82. Got a little less spin on that one, although it felt really good off the blade. And that's given me that kind of change in carry distance. You see, I'm up to 148 meters in carry against 130 odd, I think, in the last shot. So that makes me a little bit of a worry. Let me see if we can get another one out there. Again, that felt really good. Sounded awesome. Sounded really solid on the club face. What do we got? 4,500 spin. Really didn't feel the difference there. And again, this is always a little bit of a problem when you're playing these kind of more forgiving golf clubs. You don't quite get that feeling. Was that the center of the golf club or was it not? With the help of Trapman, I can actually have a look and see what it says. I hope. Come on, Trapman. No, Trapman's not going to let me do that for some reason or other. But it felt like a centered hit, but at around 151 meters, that again isn't very consistent. Again, caught that one as well, very nicely. Didn't feel an awful lot of difference between the shots. This is probably a good golf club for kind of a mid-handicapper, mid to low handicap. I'm probably talking around about kind of 12, 15 handicapper. 143 meters, 4,000 spin, 82.7 miles an hour. .9 miles an hour, so my clubhead speed here is really consistent, around about 4,000 spin on the ball, 143 meters. Not bad numbers. I'm going to go after this one a bit now. Now it's disappeared off to the left, so that's probably not a good example if we're going to be perfectly fair with the golf club. There we got 85 miles an hour and only 45,000 RPM. .84 miles an hour, 4,000 RPM. So it looks like it has the same problems, if you want to call it a problem, of a relatively low spin rate in comparison to a forged golf club or a blade golf club. Again, my opinion, that does tend to cause you to have a bit more variation in your carry distance than maybe you would want. Again, it depends on the kind of numbers that you're shooting on a golf course. If this extra kind of 5 or 10 meters of distance is actually helping you more than the variation in the distance that you're hitting it, then this is most certainly a golf club which I could recommend. It looks great, it sounds great, it feels great. The only question I have is the spin rate, but I think you're going to find that with all of this generation of golf clubs. This is not something which is just a tailor-made problem. It's a problem for all the manufacturers. I know I saw the same kind of thing with the Epic irons from Callaway, and it's basically the technology. As always in this game, it's never win-win. It's always win-lose, and where you lose on one side, you win on the other side. So the trick is to actually make a kind of an informed decision. But get this thing out on the driving range and try it out, because really, like I say, it looks very, very nice. It feels very, very nice. I wouldn't have a problem playing with these golf clubs. They look great. The only problem that I can see at all in the golf club is the spin rate. But like I say, it's something you're not going to get around. That's just gone and blown me out of the water. I've somehow managed to get 5.8 on that one, so I don't know if that's Trapman taking the mickey or the golf club. What it's like to be a YouTuber nowadays. How many you give me on that one then? Back down to 4. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. If there's any clubs you'd like me to test, please leave a comment down below. Generally, if there's anything that interests you in the game of golf you'd like me to actually talk about, leave a comment down below. Hit the notification button if you want to get videos in the future, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll leave my philosophy golf up here in the left-hand corner. Hope you enjoyed it. See you all very shortly. Bye-bye now.